How's it going? I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and I was going to wear my new pair of glasses, but they reflect the studio lights pretty badly.
Yeah, see, I didn't think about this whenever I switched to glasses. That's pretty terrible. I gotta find a way to fix that.
So right now I'm just staring blurry and blind into the camera, and hopefully it's not too noticeable. Anyway, we're going to be talking with Clem Chambers. He's the CEO of ADVFN. He's my boss, knows a ton about cryptocurrency, and that is the topic du jour today. And we're going to be chatting about his cryptocurrency investing strategy. So yeah, if you like the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter, ihub_vision. And after a quick disclaimer, we'll hear from Clem. Please note that our videos are not designed to be direct investing advice. Our channel and our content should just be one stop on the journey of trying to find out where to put your money. So, Clem, it's looking like your prediction of Bitcoin declining heading into November that you tossed out a couple of months ago seems to be coming true. It was looking sketchy a little bit for the past couple of months. Bitcoin has been stubbornly holding between 40 and 50, but it's been spiking down a bit recently. Is there anything that you can invest in the cryptocurrency world that can sort of absorb the recessionary influence of Bitcoin?
You see, there's many ways to look at investing. Okay, you can be passive and you can be active. Yeah, you can be short, you can be long. Now, if you've got money in stablecoin, you might feel like you're not in crypto because it's stable, it's not going up or down, but it's there. So not taking a loss is the same as making a profit. So you can look at the way that you invest or trade in many different ways. At the end of the day, it's how much money you get to keep at the end of it. And that's what determines. It doesn't matter if you're losing today, if 2 days out of 3 you make, or 2 months out of 12 you make a ton of money and you don't lose much on the other times. Now, if you don't know why you're trading, you're going to lose because you're going to lose your costs. Yeah. Imagine that you're betting on heads or tails, but it's $1. You bet $1, but every time you do so, you take 1 cent and you throw it out the window. Yeah. So you win $1, throw a cent out the window. You lose $1, you lose $1, you win $1. Every time you're throwing a cent out the window. Well, do that long enough, you'll be broke because of all the cents you've thrown out the window. And the cents you're throwing out the window is the cost of trading. So if you're randomly trading, the cost will kill you over time. So you have to know why you're trading or investing. You have to be right. If you do it randomly, your costs will destroy you over time. So right now, why would you be in crypto? What's your thought? What's your reason? Oh, well, someone said it's going to go to the moon. It's going to be $1 million. Well, you could say that's a possibility. And that's, if I put 1,000 down and I'll make, a lot of money. And the chances of being wrong are such that that's a good risk-reward ratio. So maybe you'd be long now. Maybe you say, well, I'm a hodler. Yeah, it could go down to 10,000, but in 5 years' time, it will be 100,000, and that's my reason. That's not a bad reason. You could be right, and then you're going to make money, good money in 5 years' time. Well, my thesis is this, is that we had a move to 38, 40,000, and I was a chicken. I got out about 32 because I just couldn't bear all the profits I'd made hanging over my head. And I thought, right, I just got to take this interesting amount of money and I'm just going to get on the sideline. It's going to go to 38. I literally had my orders in at 38,000. And I thought, no, I've bought a lot at 5,000 or 6,000. Goodbye. So I got out and I went into DeFi. Bitcoin went to 60,000. Well, I took 25% of that money that I'd made, put it into DeFi, which then proceeded to go up 500%. So that was quite good. I enjoyed that. But nonetheless, I wasn't expecting it to go to 60,000. As it turned out, that was all the institutions FOMOing in. And you've seen institutional FOMO, and you're seeing government FOMO now. Well, soon enough, it started its descent, which I was predicting from 40,000. Well, it started from 60,000. It got down to 30,000, and it stopped. Well, that's a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. But actually, if you want to invent a narrative for it, and I might as well, 2 things happened. Afghanistan. And those guys in Afghanistan, they've stolen a lot of money, a huge amount of money. And of course, they've got to run because the Taliban would have their guts for garters. So if you want to run with your money, I mean, wasn't it the president who left $5 million in cash at the airport because he couldn't fit any more in his aeroplane. Well, of course, the smart thing to do, and they've probably all done that too, is put it in Bitcoin. Then you only need a SIM card, don't you? Anyway, so that pushed Bitcoin up. Now, China has, in the last few days, in fact, I spoke at a conference last week and I said, oh, woe's me, Bitcoin's going to go down. And then like 3 hours later, it collapsed, which was quite amusing. It wasn't me, I didn't do it. It was China. China banning Bitcoin. And China has banned Bitcoin now, banned it. It is illegal to transact in Bitcoin. It's not illegal to have a account with a trader or with an exchange. It's not illegal to mine, and it's not illegal to do this, that, and the other with it. It's flat out illegal now. Now, if you were a Chinese guy with a lot of money and maybe was going to get a visit from the authorities because he got too powerful and too rich, and they're, want to teach him a lesson or two about communism, I think I might put quite a lot of money in Bitcoin, but I want to put it in before they ban it rather than afterwards. So I think after the Afghan thing going on at the same time, there's a lot of Chinese in the know because, it's a very spicy society there. And you can guess that there wasn't just one person that knew that they were going to ban it tomorrow. So they're all piling into Bitcoin while it was legal to do so. Because once you put your money in Bitcoin, if you're behind a capital transfer wall, because you're not allowed to take your money out of China without permission, you can only put so much out. Yeah, they've got capital controls. But of course, if you bought a Bitcoin or if you buy a Bitcoin, it isn't in the country where you live. It's on the blockchain, which is, a metaverse all of its own. The moment you put your, 10 million, 100 million, $500 million into Bitcoin by selling your yuan, it's gone. It's no longer in China. So that's really quite something you want to do. And now, of course, they banned it. That audience is gone. It's not totally gone, but any mainstream audience in China is gone. Anybody that isn't really pushing the envelope or hasn't got an exceptionally good reason to get into Bitcoin, that's all over with now. So, that's a huge audience for Bitcoin gone. That's going to be a massive drag because it's almost been one of the biggest markets. It's definitely been one of the biggest markets, and at times been the biggest market. And certainly, if you look at the intraday time series of Bitcoin, you'll see it moves in Asia, and it's not Borneo doing it. Yeah, China is the big Asian market. Japan's pretty big, pretty strong. Singapore, etc. There are lots of other players. But China's the big player. I mean, they produce all the mining equipment. They were doing all the mining. It was a massive audience. And that has now been shut down. And that's got to be bearish. So now I think you're seeing in the aftermath, while everybody jumped in while they're allowed to, now you're going to see a shrinkage of demand because the China market will really basically not have much in the way of demand, not like there was in the past. So that will be a really serious headwind. And I expect that to have a really dampening effect. I'm expecting that to see Bitcoin down to 20,000. Now, I was expecting Bitcoin in the crash that didn't quite happen to get down into the low 10,000s. But I'm kind of not feeling that right now. I'm feeling that 20,000 is an interesting point. I will probably start cost dollar averaging in under 20,000. But we'll see, some other disaster could strike and up it could go because it won't take much of a disaster in a major country, a geopolitical problem, to make Bitcoin go, vertical. And the really, really, really interesting thing, and I find it, really rather unsettling, is all these social clampdown things going on in China all really fit into a pattern of preparing for war. And I don't like that at all. And, China takes 10 years to do anything. But, it does definitely seem to be moving towards toughening itself up. And, hey, children, stop cramming for education. Hey, children, stop playing with games. Go out and get physically fit. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, that's a bit worrying, isn't it? And yes, we won't have any of this ability for Bitcoin for people to be able to take their money overseas. Oh, we're going to go to Macau and shut that down. They've gone to the casinos and stomped on them, which is another exit for capital. So they're clamping down on capital exiting. They've, in the same line, They've said, oh, no IPOs of Chinese companies in America. You know, that's a sort of patchwork quilt that's got a pretty scary image on it. But people say, and they've got a good point, China only looks inwards. And it's looking inwards, it's clamping down on its society because it's kind of refreshing its authority. The reason for all this is just to, you know, make sure that everybody knows who's the boss. And I hope that's right. But I tell you, if anybody gets a whiff of trouble that's outward looking, Bitcoin again would go vertical, and so will gold. So actually the thing to watch is gold, because gold will go, and gold is, you know, gold is so out of fashion, it spins my head. I love gold. I'm up to my eyebrows in gold. I mean, it's really annoying because it keeps going down. And you know, and I don't really understand why in this inflationary world, but it is going down. However, if there was any whiff of China, you know, turning away from its very inward-looking perspective and start outwardly looking and start being aggressive about it, gold will go absolutely mental, and Bitcoin will too. I mean, if you imagine China behaving like America behaves in the world, I mean, that's a terrifying prospect. And if that starts to happen, then, you know, a bear market in gold, a bear market in Bitcoin, if you forget that, it will go absolutely mental. But it's a big if.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you liked the video, as always, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you hadn't already. You can follow us on Twitter, ihub_vision. And also, our videos come out as podcasts on Anchor Podcast, and that gets also distributed to a variety of different podcast locations. And those come out usually a day or two after they come out on YouTube. And while they lack the pretty pictures of YouTube, the audio quality is much higher because YouTube compresses audio quality for the stuff that we make, or at least my export style. Maybe I can find a different way of exporting the video so it sounds better. Anyway, so yeah, see you again soon.